Hello, everybody. Sorry, I always come off a little strong on that. You know how it is. So today, well, first of all, before we get started, crisp, cold energy drink because I so desperately need it today.
Are we allowed to do a little quick ad for the drink?
Sure, bro. Yeah,
Alright.
we're not sponsored by any way, shape, or form,
We
but
should be. We should definitely sponsored
I
by
drink
Red
enough
Bull.
energy drinks that I would be down if they wanted to. They come up at me and they're like, "Yo, we love your content. Please promote caffeine," and I'd be like, "Yes."
I feel like energy drinks are like the college student sponsor for everyone.
Facts. I love him. Anyway, so today we have Jackson Newhouse, my boy. I'm glad you're able to hop on today. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
We got a couple of topics of conversation that were premeditated upon recording, but for the most part, most of it's just chatting, bro. It's been a hot second since we've sat down outside of class or outside of a project and
For
just
real.
kind of like talked about life. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for coming on. I'm
Yeah, of
excited.
course.
Should be a good episode. Oh, cheers. Cheers with the Red Bull. I love it. It was not bad. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jackson Newhouse, why don't you introduce yourself? Talk about whatever you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is, as I said before, Jackson Newhouse. I'm
sorry.
currently a senior at Iowa State University. I'm majoring in theater, mainly in light design, and I'm currently minoring also in film.
Ooh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, I picked it up at the end of my sophomore year, and then I started taking classes as a junior, and I have literally next semester, like besides my few theater classes I have left, the rest are it's a French film class, a Russian film class. I'm taking a journal and media center style class. So we'll have a fun lab at like 7 a.m. in the morning, which is gonna be nice.
Whoop, whoop. Let's go.
At this point, I do not care what time the class are. I just need to get to graduate and get out of here.
Same.
I'm so ready to just like
Same.
graduate at the spring and just like go wherever the wind takes me.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I just want to go, get out, make money, do the same stuff I'm doing now, but kind of like actually start to like build a brand.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited. So,
Yeah, it's like I guess like speaking about brands too. I'm gonna do a little shameless plug here.
ooh, okay.
So last semester, I actually started my own Newhouse line design freelancing company.
Okay.
So a lot of the works I've done here at Iowa State, a few works I've done outside, and then I'm trying to think what else. A lot of them I'm putting underneath my handle as Newhouse Line Design. I have a website through Wix right now. I'm waiting until I graduate and get enough money so I can actually get my own public domain for it.
Good call.
But if you go to my Instagram account, Newhouse_lighting_design, there should be a link to the website through there.
Cool.
So go check that out. I have a few fun photos up there so you see my designs. I'll be
Okay.
adding more once Night of the Living Dead finishes up.
Cool. I'll make sure to post that under the description for all of you wonderful listeners. No, I'm excited, bro. It's gonna be cool to like actually get out and start doing things that you've been wanting to do and you have been doing, just not for profit. You've been paying to do it, but yay, learning experience.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The closest I've gotten to like getting paid for my work, besides like a show here and there,
Yeah.
was over the summer. I was down in Banner Elk, North Carolina. I was part of the Lee McRae Summer Theater. I worked there as a lighting apprentice / like intern. We worked on two big shows that summer. It was The Drowsy Chaperone and Matilda.
Ooh,
Yeah.
both good shows.
Both good shows. It was a fun experience to be down there too, because the way I like to describe how the experience down there was, it was a combination of a 9-to-5 theater job and basically theater summer camp. So like you'll work from the time to like just work in the theater, like basically what we do here at Fisher. And once it's done, you just go out, have fun. We'll go to like the bars and drink. It was always fun because the college was like 2 steps away from the town and had like a really nice like town scene. It was really like you go into town, it's like this like center like Broadway aisle, and it had like stores on each side. When we get to the center of it, there was 2 main like bars you can go down there. One of them was Sorrento's, a kind of like a nicer restaurant style bar, and the one across from it was Bayou, which was basically just like the fun shack, like basically like your classic bar.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, it
The
was.
Fun Shack. I've never heard a classic bar be referred by that, and I love it. That's it. It's the Fun Shack. I love that.
I call it that because like the amount of times we've gone there and just like had fun drinking, it was just like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
there's so much.
good memories.
So what I can remember, yeah.
When you can remember, peculiar Jackson, peculiar.
Tisk,
Dude,
tisk.
I can't wait till I can like go travel and like just be like, oh, I'm gonna go work on a sound design in like Indiana or something random.
Yeah,
And just go make money, travel a little bit. I want to travel.
I agree too.
So yeah, that's got to be dope. So I guess we should probably kind of. So I'm gonna bring this up in every podcast, but it's like, do you remember the first time we met? Because I rarely remember first times.
I'm trying to think because you and I first met like the first perf stuff too.
That's
and
facts.
like back then, like I was still kind of like unknown, like who was who in the class yet. So it's still like a bigger class. I think I fully first met you through. Did you work on the Horizon Festival? Like, were you part of that production?
Did I? I don't. On the Horizon? I don't think so. Okay. Were you in script analysis, Case and Murphy?
Script analysis, Manda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. How did we meet?
Was it really Corners Grove?
Is it well, no, but we've had classes before then. But maybe like Corners Grove was the thing where we actually like collaborated on.
Wait, did you take sound design with Will?
Yeah.
Was that your sophomore semester in the spring?
I think he's only offered it one time, and I think that's when it was. I loved that class.
That was a very fun class. I think that's where I first met you. Okay. It was you, myself, Chris, Steph, Lily. There's a bunch of, I think this guy Brandon, he does a lot of line designing for Barche. He was in that class too. I'm trying to think who else was in that class, but those are like people I remember for sure. We were at Fisher because it was still during COVID. Like it was I think it was just before they started the vaccines for COVID. Like we were at the theater,
the auditorium.
And it's all like
spread out as much as we can. Oh, dude, what a fun class! I'm so glad because like I asked Will to do that class, and he's like, and I was like, please. And then enough people signed up, and then he was able to teach it. But I'm so glad we did because like that directly correlated with the success of Polaroid Stories. At least from the person that came and listened to it.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
I enjoyed the sound design for Polaroids too, along with the lighting, of course.
Yeah, the lighting was pretty good too. I will say that the sound was like first time I ever officially sound designed, but Tiffany liked it. I was like, if you want to come work and do more of it, I'll let you know, and I'd be like, sick, bro. So that's exciting. Good old Corners Grove with my little. So for everyone who doesn't know, Corners Grove was basically like one of the first productions I was like supposed to intern work-ish on, and I was supposed to run the soundboard, and I wanted to run the soundboard. But then me and my friend Tate, what a man, we just go longboarding. As you do, you're bored. Okay, cool. So you go longboarding, but we're longboarding in a place that I've never been to. So it's like, okay, cool. I mean, I just started longboarding. Goddamn. I just started longboarding, and so I'm not familiar with the space that we're going in. So we end up like by the McDonald's west side of Ames, Lincoln Way. Behind that, so like north of there. There's like this hill that we go down, and it doesn't look too steep. It's relatively like not a steep slope. And I'm like, oh, so it goes around the corner and then like flattens out. No, it goes around the corner and continues to go at a steeper incline down, and then it ends with a broken sidewalk and grass. And I'm like, okay, well, grass is better than sidewalk. And so I end up eating absolute shit. Just, and it was rough. I get up and I'm like, oh, I think my clavicle or shoulders like dislocated. And by the time I get to like the ER, or like not ER, not like, it wasn't urgent like urgent care. There you go. Like UC, I guess. ER is like for more worse cases. But yeah, I sat there for like 2 hours just like moaning, like, because because it fucking hurt. And then we get there, and she gives me X-ray. I'm like, oh, so can you just like pop it back in place? And she's like, well, you kind of shattered your clavicle, so it's not dislocated. You're going to be out for a bit. And because of that, I was not able to run the soundboard, which requires 2 hands really to operate.
Because they had mics for that show, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
they had mics for that show. And I got stuck with the fucking pushing the light board button. Woot woot. It was good. Good times.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I had fun. I fuck around way too much.
Yeah. Quick tangent, side note too. Apparently I learned that the clavicle actually is structured to shatter when you fall on your sides. That way it protects your back from any severe injury.
I did learn that as well. And while I am glad that it was the clavicle and not the back, still was unfortunate timing because it was like the beginning of the semester. And I was like, okay, well, rip.
It was funny about that too, because like, I remember like when we were going into like the tech of it, I was thinking like, oh yeah, so Joe's gonna be running sound, and we'll have Chris running light board. I know that Chris was very excited to do lighting because he's been talking to me about doing lighting.
Yeah,
and you're like excited to do sound, and all of a sudden I get talk with Will, and it's like, so because he broke his clavicle or like broke his, like whatever, we have to switch you guys around because you can't. Luckily, Chris knew what he was doing for sound because he works sound professionally, and then I had to. Because have you done any lighting up to that point, or
I have not. At that point, no.
Yeah, so I kind of had to like teach. You had to press a button, so it wasn't like the worst thing.
It was pretty quick. I mean, go to cue line.
Yeah,
very simple to actually run it through the show. Designing it is a whole nother matter.
Tell me about. Oh my god,
I did it. I took lighting design. I thought I wanted to be a lighting designer and sound designer, and then I did lighting, and then I did sound, and I'm like, sound for me is just so much more fun. And that's I'll just get other people to do like lighting and video, but like sound it's so fun for me.
That's the pretty much the main reason why I like lighting more than sound, because like seeing like on the stage what to do with like each scene is always fun to figure out like, well, what I'll do for lighting.
Yeah. It's funny. Same concept, just different aspect. Yeah. Correct.
And like I know for sure going into this weekend with Night of Living Dead, that's gonna be very fun because this Friday will be like my day to like go in and like program.
Is it a dark night?
It's dark night. It's dark day. It's dark day and night for the theater. So besides like maybe like a few things getting done like in like an hour or so out there, the entire day will be dark for me to get the cues in. So that way, come Saturday, which is our dry tech, we'll be able to go through everything and make sure things are running smoothly for Sunday.
That is gonna be hype. That is gonna be hype. That's exciting. I'm excited to watch it. So, I mean, go ahead and talk. So, Night of the Living Dead, another shameless plug, shall we?
Yeah, come see it. It's November, I believe that's the 10th through the 13th that weekend. My days are all mixed up.
That's okay.
I'm assuming that's today. It's a weekend. It's next weekend.
Yeah.
Once, wherever it's aired or wherever we put it. No,
I'm gonna try to get some episodes out because we've talked about, especially here, the show's coming up, and I want to like at least get like 2 out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm excited for this show. This technically isn't my first musical I've done. I light designed when I was in high school. When I was a senior, I was both light designer and stage manager for Mary Poppins, which is like my last big show I did at the high school. So I kind of have some musical experience down for lighting, but this is a whole new thing because once I got into college, basically they deconstructed what I learned about lighting through high school and basically retaught me how I relearned how to ride the bike when it comes to lighting.
Yeah, okay.
And
makes sense.
And working on this show has been very I've been learning a lot more. I've been learning new things even now as I'm getting this show about what can we like good ideas for it too. Like this is probably one of the heavy hitting shows in terms of lighting wise that I've done before. I'm pushing the inventory that we have for lighting at this point.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
Someone mentioned to me yesterday, it was like, yeah, we're running out of like frames for gels for lights. I'm like, how are we doing that? I'm like, all right, because I'm using all the fucking lights.
Yeah.
And our cool thing about the show is that like it's making me like try to make me think like outside the box with like some of the lighting stuff for it too. I'm hanging lights in positions that for the longest time I didn't think that we could hang lights there.
Yeah.
And we just got these 2 new, like brand new ETC Lone Stars. They're like behemoth movers, like like the small movers that we have on Fisher. Imagine that, but 50 pounds heavier.
Let's go.
It has like gobo rotators in them. It's like brighter than our other guys.
Yeah,
they're beasts. They can like basically do a lot of fun things.
Can they just like, are they like washes?
You can do washes and tight zooms on them too. Ooh. I think the degrees is like 3 to 6 to 60 degrees.
Just absolutely blind an actor.
Go as tight as you can, wide as you can. It's so good.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like practical lighting we're gonna do as well. That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. So I guess like, I mean, I'll kind of talk about like the process for like the process for sound designing Polaroid stories. It was really fun, but yeah, it was like that same concept where trying to push the boundaries of creativity. For that show, I tried to use a bunch of Foley sounds as well as just like audio sounds that were permissible to use in a production like that.
Yeah.
And working with Foley taught me like, bro, if you can't find a sound, there's a pretty good chance that you can make a sound similar and then like engineer it so it sounds like something else, which I did. Turned out to be pretty good. And same concept. You're just trying to push that boundary, push your inventory, think about different ways you can make something look really cool.
Yeah, it also
really sound really cool.
Yeah, it also really pushes like you yourself as a designer, where like you're only as good as your creativity and like your imagination when it comes to it, because you can get given all the tools you need, but it'll take you thinking differently, or like thinking like outside looking in, inside looking out, all that jazz of like, oh, what can I do with the things I have now that is something that's unique, that's something that like that pushes like the instruments like to their limits of like creativity and storytelling too.
Yeah, so it's not the tools, but how you use the tools.
100% that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess, do you want to talk through like, so let's say you've got a musical number in Night of the Living Dead, which I assume you do.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of like walk through like, so you get to like Vectorworks or however, what is your process of like you got the script to the idea for the light? So like walk me through so you see the script, you have the idea of like the plot or whatever. So then like how do you choose what you do, I guess? Because I did lighting, but I
kind of get what you're saying. Like kind of go like my step-by-step process of how I go through it. Yeah. Well, for starters, like for this show, it was kind of different because I kind of over the summer I kind of like practiced more on Vectorworks and like kind of worked ahead with like a basic light plot and like just kind of make sure that I can still get onto Vectorworks, make a plot, and make sure it works.
Yeah.
So going into this show, I kind of had like a leg up about I kind of knew what I wanted to do for it. We get to the meeting. We get to meet Mary Jo, who is a phenomenal director.
I'm excited, bro.
She's a very, very talented artist when it comes to directing. And like I had like really fun working with her. She's definitely like has helped me become a better designer in some aspects. And I'm really proud to like be able to work with her and stuff. So I get the script. I go over like kind of ideas with her. We kind of talk about like what we want for each song. I have an idea what those are supposed to look like. And then once that's done, I pretty much have to like wait to see how the set's going to look and then design from there.
Okay.
And so a lot of it too was like just like looking at like what Brian, our new TD/scenic designer that we have here, what he wanted to do for the show. And he was also like very like adamant on like wanting to like integrate a lot of like very what's the word, like it's like German expressionism. So like when you see the house for this show, it's a house, but it's so like unique. It's so like angular and like just creative, and like it looks both spooky in some ways, but also very like fun to look at. It's a very like cool set. Every time I go into Fisher, I look at it, I thought, damn, that's a really awesome set.
I haven't seen it, so I'm excited.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited. So basically you like have a general idea of what colors you want and then you see the set, or do you do colors first, or do you do like How like do you do colors and then set and then
So for me,
collaborate?
I always like to see the set first, then hit the lights I need to hit the areas, and then from there, color is kind of like how I see the color that mixes with the story, like how kind of the story that we're telling, how it's going to appear on the set with like their paint elevations and such, and just kind of see like what colors mix well. I'm known, like I've basically decided like for like my design like aspects, like kind of like my own designs like style,
Your flair,
my flair,
the uniqueness. Okay.
I always like going for like my front light. I always like to do like a little more like pinkish to give a little more warmth to like people's faces and stuff without like making them look like weirdly in some ways too, because sometimes amber can do that, like depending on like, you know, depending on how the person looks, it's like it can like definitely change it in some ways.
It looks makes sense.
But then like I always have to go bold for side light. I always like just hit like the side of your face with like fun colors and stuff. It looks really cool. But for this show, definitely for this show, a lot of my color is going to be based off LEDs, because the LEDs can get me what I want for like really fun colors.
That's exciting, bro. I love LEDs. I got LED strips in my room. Let's go.
I'm a fanatic when it comes to LEDs too. It's so fun. And like the different color combinations you can do with them, it's so cool. But yeah, for this show, we have 12 Roby 150 movers. They're like the small guys that like can go around, do some fun stuff. We have the 2 Lone Stars, as I mentioned. And speaking about LED tape, a little fun thing about this one is that we actually do have like along the set, we'll have some like LEDs fun stuff too.
Let's go.
That's really fun.
That's exciting, bro.
We have a lot of like fun atmospheric stuff. The haze will definitely help bring out the beams of the lights out. Yeah. And of course, once you get all like that, once you know what the plot's gonna look like, you start hanging immediately. Like you get the lights up as soon as possible, because once that set gets in, it just becomes annoying to get around. And as much as I really love this set, trying to get around it for lighting has always been like, of course the walls there and like, you know, this way, and like it's all different angles, so it's like annoying sometimes. But that is only because of the fact that you're taking a very angular house that isn't like, you know, 90 degrees and like, you know, right angles and stuff, and putting into like a 90-degree space. Somewhat, it says it's Fisher.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'm excited. Okay, that's so based. Okay, all right, I'm kind of getting a picture, but I haven't seen it, so I'm excited.
And in this musical too, it's like, it's goofy, it's campy, it's a fun musical. All right, this is a musical and like a show that, it's compared to the other stuff I have done here, I would say like the 4 years I've been here, a lot of the shows that we've done are very more darker tones. Like they're like, it's a lot more like either serious tones, more realistic, more depressing.
Polaroid Stories was dark, bro. I had fun, but the plot was...
I'll be honest with you, that I think like out of all the things for Polaroid Stories, the thing I disliked the most was kind of the story. Only because, and that it wasn't anything to do with the directing of it, because obviously Tiffany Johnson's an amazing director. It's just that the story is just so dark.
It's so dark, disconnected, and from what I've heard everyone else say is that they have loved the design, the lighting, the sound, the actors was really good, cool. The set was dope, and the directing, the only thing that was bad was just the script itself, and you can't do anything about that. So
you're given a script and basically have to make the best out of it. I just wish that and I get the story of it too, is like how these people who are like, you know, like fucked up in the head or like on drugs right now, they see themselves as like gods of the streets or something like that too. For what I don't remember like exactly how the story went, because like I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I worked
on it and I don't really remember either.
Everyone that I've met had like different interpretations of it, which is a good thing, but at the same time it's like, can at least some of it be like makes like some sense?
Can there be some type of plot line, please?
Like, I like the idea of having like, you know, like different viewpoints of it and like different interpretation of it, but there should be, at the very least, a clear line of the plot or like a theme of it that makes sense for everyone, and then they could build off of it. This show,
I did what I could, brother. I did what I could.
That show is just, it was just like I couldn't follow along sometimes, and it was just like, sometimes for me it was a little bit too much. But that, again, like that isn't anything with like any of the directing or that's principles of it. It's just the script itself, the story itself. It's a very dark script. Comparing that to Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead is so fun. We watched when I watched the designer run for it. It was like I think last Tuesday or something. I was just laughing my ass off. It was so fun to watch. It was just the people who they casted are really great singers, really great actors. They are giving it life. And again, props to Mary Jo for like just tackling in them like the ways they like to act and the ways like to make it like not only believable but funny, and like moments when like it's like just like there'll be a line right there and they'll say it with the most serious face and I'll just lose it because it's funny. And it's like and like it's just a fun show. And that's like something I want for the lighting wise. Some of the things that we kind of talked about for lighting for it was we want the lighting to have fun too. We want the lighting to be a part of the story, to be its kind of its own character, to like kind of poke around with the cast in some ways and just like make it fun. Like, and that's in this time too, like where we're living, like with like obviously we're coming out of COVID, politics suck. You know, like life sometimes sucks. You know, people deal with shit. It's always nice to have a show that you can escape reality and just have fun with a show. And
I'm
like,
excited, bro. I'm gonna go now. I'm kind of hyped. I'm gonna go. Let's go. I'll be like, let's go, and then the show will go, and it'll be great, and I'll probably laugh out loud. Yeah, I tend to do that.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, this is. Out of all, I think this would be like, if I remember correctly, like in terms of like next semester too, this is technically my last design here, I would say, before I graduate. Because next semester we have Barche, which I'll be doing like a piece or so. Yeah. And then Chico's Monsters, I think we're having a guest artist come in for lighting for that. Ooh. Yeah, it's something, because I know for that show, Will wants to do sound for it because he did sound for it for an old project. Yeah, it was like back in grad school. About that. And so he wants to like redo it and like make it a better sound design for Chico's Monsters. So they're gonna he wants to bring in someone for lighting to like give him our guest artist for it too. Yeah. So I'll try to help out with that as much as possible, and either in terms of hanging or like master electrician work for that. I might sneak my way into it just for funsies, but like
just be like, "What's up?"
Like, yeah, I'll be master electrician for the show. Why not? But that's up again. Like that's like next semester stuff. I know they're starting the casting or like getting like the first like design principles down for it. So, you know, fingers crossed that it's a fun show.
I think Polaroid Stories was the last one that I'm sound designing, but I do want to do a project for the Student Fringe Fest. I think it has the potential to like be good. Because it's been a long time since I've stepped on stage and performed. I think the last time I stepped on stage and performed myself was before COVID. And I'm doing the 10 minutes. But I've never acted before. When I go on stage, I kind of like, I usually am myself on stage, like creating, like doing my own work. Yeah. I've never like been off a script and doing something else, somebody else's work, and doing character analysis and doing script analysis and like trying to build the world of somebody else, which has been fun for me. And I don't hate it. I have a great respect for it, but I don't think it's my favorite thing to do. And it's not what I would love to do to go on stage. The Fringe Fest, on the other hand, is like I get to curate my own production, so to speak, and more or less be myself on stage. So I'm excited. Yeah.
I know for me at least, we're planning on doing the capstone film that we were working on for last week. We're planning on like presenting that at the Fringe Fest. And for those who don't know, while this is Joe's capstone project, the rest of the class kind of like did a collaboration together for a short film we were doing. The title of the film is called Casting Cole. It's a horror slasher film that we wanted, since in the spirit of Halloween, we did the Halloween weekend. So spooky season. Yep. So for that show, I am co-designing that along with the great Izzy Anderson. She was very fun to work with, and like her, I did not know that she got into lighting. It was really cool to like work with her.
I heard you had a 9-hour recording session. Is that correct? Or?
So we have filmed for the weekend. So we started Friday at 3 and we went till about like 9 or 10. Okay. Saturday we started around noon again. Went till like 9, and then Saturday was just kind of the same thing. So like in total about, what was that, 18? 24 hours of filming.
Yeah, 24, 25.
Yeah.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, not only was
Is it
I
done?
we have some reshooting left to do, but like for the most part, it's like looking really good. Because the one thing about this film I really liked was that instead of like doing the classic, like, oh, we'll do a found footage, handheld, like shaky camera shit, it was like we took our time, we set up shots, we planned out how it's going to look with cinematography and like blocking and stuff. And it actually felt like a real movie. It made it more grounded. It made it more like fun to do because I know that we're taking the time to like set up the shots,
make it look good.
Yeah. And it was really fun, not only like the light design it too, but also this is technically my first time film acting too, because I'm one of the characters in the film.
Oh, you are acting in it too? Yeah. So you did design and you're acting in it?
So yeah, it's like we would set up lighting, like Izzy and I would like set up the lighting for it, and then her and I were both cast in it too, along with Morgan, Matthew, and Dominic.
Yeah,
we were the five main actors. We had like guest appearances by Tiffany Johnson. We also had a guest appearance by Kason Murphy.
Kason was in it. Oh, yeah, we got aware.
He came. Oh. He came to film on Saturday and Sunday night, and it was just so fun to work with him.
That's awesome.
He had loads of fun, and like I think he like brought the spirit of it up sometimes when he was there too, because like he kept like just having fun with it. It wasn't just like, oh, we're working on our professor. No, working with Case and Murphy.
Yeah,
it was just really fun.
Oh, bro, that's exciting. The thing is, before Capstone class even happened, I already had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I knew that it was going to take time. Yeah. And I kind of leaned towards wanting to be in the film, and then I was like, I can't. I'm just too busy. But I really am enjoying this, and it'll be cool to like maybe have you back on after it's released and I've seen it, and we can talk about it. And we could also like, I was learning from earlier that we could like put if we wanted video for a little snippet, we could just throw it in the while the podcast is running. You could just slap some video on the audio or something. So
no, and I understand. Yeah, definitely. Like I remember, like when we were talking about this film, I wasn't even for sure I was going to be a part of it, but then I thought it sounds fun. It could definitely be a really cool project, and it's something that I knew to do. So I'm like, let's try it out. And I got to it, and I'm like, the more we talked about the film, like the more like I could set up like the story for it. And I think the day that we went to the house to check out the house we were filming in, and we had like our design, like kind of like our design concept meeting with everyone about like what the story's gonna be about, the character beats, like the filming of it, like the casting it. It was just like, oh, this is gonna feel so real.
Yeah,
and it was. We treated hype. It was treated like a film. Like shout out to Shannon, Lily, Dom. They were like the kind of like directors of the thing too, directing shots. They did a really great job filming it. We had a lot of like, we had brought in a few people from Clouds to do some of the actual filming of it for the camera work. So they did a really spectacular job.
That's exciting, bro. Yeah. Okay.
And just like to shout out to like all of us too. Like we had like it was fun. Like it was definitely like after. I will say this too, after 9 hours of filming, it is tasking. It does get you a little bit exhausted, but there was never a dull moment, I would say. Like there's always like something to like laugh about, something to like, get your mind into it, like discuss. But also it was just overall, it was just a really fun experience to do. And it definitely will be really fun to put on the resume as both line designer and an acting role, I guess.
Yeah, I'm so hyped to like. I mean, there's a bunch of cool stuff coming out. Like you got Night of the Living Dead, casting Cole. I'm gonna drop a couple episodes of this here soon.
Yes.
And then the 10 minutes, and then like, so I'm keeping busy, but it's fun creatively, project wise. The classes I'm taking this semester are not as, next semester is going to be awesome, but this semester it's like, hard to stay motivated to like do classes when the projects I'm working on are so much more fun.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's like not only that too, like the projects that you work on, like sometimes like you work on these projects, like you're a designer for a show, or like you're doing a film, or like you're working on other projects too. And sometimes the drive to make that, like as an artist, to make that the best it can be, it pushes your focus away from like the classwork sometimes. And I'll admit, like because of the Night of the Living Dead and because of casting Cole, like I've been putting a lot of like my classwork on the back burner. Luckily though, a lot of my classes are online. A lot of my classes have like professors that like know what I'm doing right now. So it's not like, oh, they don't understand. It's like everyone's artists. They know that like we're working on these big projects right now.
That's
And-
hype. Yeah.
I mean, luckily for casting call, it's my capstone project, so I can get away with like I was working on my capstone project, you know. And also being a part of this department, like they know, like everyone pretty much knows each other at this point.
That's
like,
the best part.
Yeah, so
about this department.
Yeah, and like they know like if you're like look tired, like oh you're working on the show that tasking. I'm like yeah it is.
Yeah.
I think my dark circles underneath my eyes have grown over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that's a badge of honor or like a curse at this point.
Kind of both. It's kind of both.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really fun, but you're not getting paid. So, but still, I mean, the fact that like, I mean, that's what school is it's like building up your experience.
Yeah.
And giving you the opportunities and the platform to do so. Like being here in this room, I love it. It's fun. It is exciting.
Yeah.
So,
and also it will be exciting because like with all these projects you have this like your portfolio, you have your resume that you can show off to different companies and artists and stuff like that too.
Still gonna make my professional resume, by the way, but I need to, and the website. But
I'm gonna be hopefully get everything updated and ready to go because I know that this spring break, I don't know if it's been fully announced yet. I know it's been the talks and Will really wants it to be sent in, but you know how like we always go to like KCCTF for the festival and stuff?
Yeah.
This year, because of how close it is in St. Louis, Will is trying to push for a spring break trip that bring in artists like us design students and like a bunch of like other people to go to USITT.
Where's that at?
It's in St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay.
And it's a United States Institute for Technical Theater.
Oh yes.
So light designers, scene designers, sound designers, video designers, and like projectors, costume design, like any design you can like designers code there. It's like a big huge convention. They have theater companies there. You have like Vectorworks, ETC. They're showing off their new light board, the Apex there, EOS Expos. And I know damn well that if I do go, I need to get to that line to play with that board.
Just like let's go.
Like they're bringing like the biggest model of it, which has, I kid you not, it has two like 27-inch 4K touchscreen monitors integrated into the board. This fucker costs $30,000 to buy, and they're showing it off at USITT to play with. I'm like, I want to get my hands on that.
You're just like white knuckles, just like give it to me. Yeah.
And another cool thing too is that not only will they have like companies there, they're also going to have like grad schools there. It's like if you want to go to get your MFA, they have. I know. The people that I worked with down in Lees McRae for my summer internship, a few of them both are already started or finishing up their grad school stuff. They're going to be at USITT showing off their grad schools. Like one of them's from FSU grad school for theater, Yale drama, which is a huge grad school. They're going to be there as well. So it's really nice to like kind of show off, like meet people, talk about potential down the road. Because I know for sure for me, it won't be just after college because I want to make money, but after that, getting a little more money, experience, and finding the right school, I want to like go get my MFA.
You do want to get your MFA?
Yeah.
Nice. You want to be a motherfucking artist?
Damn right.
Nice.
I feel like if I want to go into more design work, that MFA will really help like give me a boost above other people. And also, it's just like a good like
that's true
life goal of like. I can be like proud to say like, hey, I have my MFA in lighting design.
Be a motherfucking artist, baby.
Literally, if I can like look back on myself, the kid who like couldn't make it the basketball team because he's the last one cut because Owatonna has a serious nepotism problem when it comes to their sports. If you know the coach or rich, you're on the team. So
yeah, exactly.
The poor kid who like didn't have connections, like to tell him like, hey, forget about basketball. You might get an MFA in like theater, and I'm like, what? And like working on the light board for my first show ever, Curtains, the musical at my high school. Just thinking that like that will lead me down to graduating with my bachelor's of arts and like a film minor.
Yeah,
like, never thought.
Dude. Neither.
I did not know. Like I could not think back then. Like this is where my life is going to go down this path. And it was just crazy to like look back. I'm like, God, like. I went to college for theater and I'm going to graduate college from theater and actually have the capabilities to go become professional work in lighting design, something that I found passion through like
it was so funny, bro. Yeah. I came in as a software engineer, like I knew what I was doing. And then I quickly realized, but I realized it pretty fast. I was like, oh shit. this isn't for me. And then I end up like having a meeting with Brad, and then I got excited and I was like, you know what, fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball. So like,
Funny enough,
so I switched, and I love it. It's been the best choice of my life. So
I came into college like wanting to do theater, but I didn't know the best route to take, so I decided to like double major in electrical engineering and theater. I get here and was kind of talking with Brad. I had a meeting with them about it before I signed for my class, or like had like my big it was orientation. And like before our engineering orientation, I met with Brad about it, and we were kind of talking, and then like the more I talked about like, wait, why am I going to engineering? If that's not really the path I really want to take down for this one. And then literally that same day, I'm like, why don't I just switch over to like just a performing arts major?
Yeah.
Like I can get the technical skills I want from it without having to kill myself over electrical engineering homework.
Yeah.
Because shout out my roommate who's an ME, and every time he complains about homework, I'm like, that could have been me. Oh my god! Every time I see him, he's like, it looks more and more dead. I'm like, dude, why'd you pick ME? He's like, because it'll make me money. I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna kill yourself first before you even make it that point.
Exactly. I don't know, bro. I mean, money's nice, but I think the journey to get the money is more important than having a shit ton of money up front. At least in my mind, because I'm gonna be broke, but I'm only graduating with like under 10K in debt, and so, which is really fortunate.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna be better off than most people, but like at the same time, I'm so glad that I was like, all right, I'm gonna do what I like, and even if I'm gonna be like eating ramen for like a year and a half,
yeah,
you know, it's still like building a life where I feel like I can more or less create stuff that I feel like A, matters, and B, is fun and makes me happy to do. And it seems that people enjoy it.
Yeah.
I hope people enjoy this podcast, because I do want to continue it after I graduate, because I think it could be fun.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat where like, as much as I really wanted to like, you know, be set off, like have the money I want to do and like that stuff, I want to do something that is more productive in life than working a 9 to 5 in an office cubicle, just crunching numbers, just slowly dying like myself. I feel like the path I took down in theater, the artist path, though it may be the toughest and like the one that won't give me the most like to offer in terms of monetary value, but in terms of like artistic value, in terms of like showing off to the world, like
quality of life.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade. I think if I could go back in time, I would make the same choices that lead to here now.
Same. Yeah, I'm so glad. I mean, I'm almost there. I don't even have a minor, because I was like, one of the main reasons I went to college in the first place was to like basically show to my family, because I was raised with my grandparents, and a lot of my family is like raised by different people.
Yeah.
To be like, you know, life can be fucked up sometimes, but if you really can like put your mind to it, and yes, it's a theater major, but still in my mind, it's still a degree. It's still you put in 4 years of work to like, you set a goal and you did it. And I want to be the first person in my family to do it. And so I was like, fuck it, we ball. So
you're be a first generation?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. So yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really know how or what it's going to be, but I'm going to do it. Yeah. And here I am with less than 2 semesters to go. Woo woo.
Yeah. Less than a semester and a half. Like we're almost there. And I agree too. It's like, I went to college like to become a better designer, and I would say the designer I was when I was graduating high school compared to now graduating college, it's like God, like I was just the world, like the idea of like theatrical art just was I didn't learn everything now too, because there's so much else to learn, but like now I have the skills to be able to learn more, to be able to do more, and like be able to create these pieces of art that like may last longer than I do, which that'll be something that's
gotta be dope.
That'll be a grand.
It's the best feeling.
Oh my God,
like when you make something that like you think like, oh dude, this was fun, and maybe I won't think back to it as much, but like other people might look at it and be like, that's what I want to do, and that's inspiring.
Yes, I agree.
So I'm just so excited. I was talking with Zach Harvey, because he's gonna be on soon. And I had this concept with him in Zoom, and it was like just over like a call. And I was like, and I won't share it until he's on, because I'll share it then. But it was basically like just even planning something like this, where it's very low key, very chill, for school, but like more for me and just to have a good time. I just had this idea, and it's like, oh, that's what I love, is when I'm doing something that's cool, and then all of a sudden I have this like idea that I want to pursue now, like a goal, and it's like the best way to live life.
I agree. Yeah.
Is like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna have the best stuff ever. I'm not gonna like get a new phone all the time, drive a really nice car. Maybe I won't, maybe I will, but it's not gonna be the end goal for me. It's like, if I ever do make money, I hope I never get that imposter syndrome, bro, where it's like, I always want to stay grounded and just always remember I'm here for a limited amount of time, and I'm here to make things that make people think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I'm excited. We'll see where it goes. It's nerve-wracking. If I said that I wasn't like scared, low key, or like I'll just sit in bed and I'll just be like, how is all of this gonna work? I have no idea. Compared to like now, like the swings are crazy, where it's like, oh, I have no idea how it's gonna work, but at the same time I'm excited.
Oh, believe me, like I was dealing with that yesterday too, with like just I got into Fisher, and like I was just like thinking like, oh my gosh, this last weekend was all filming stuff. Now they get back to Night of the Living Dead. I don't know what else to do right now. I don't know what the deal is. And then I get there, I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. I'm taking a step back, looking at the grand everything, just realize we're in a great spot for lighting. We're just close to the end. I'm about to get ready to start programming, which is like the big next step.
Yeah.
And everything should be working, ready to go, all set, like for it to be like, we got this. It's gonna happen. And yeah, and whatever at this point, yeah, whatever happens, it will happen, and then you just go with the punches.
Yeah, it's like the pieces are falling into place, but I'm not necessarily the one picking up the pieces.
No, it's just it's also that reliability of like, other people to help you out too is something that's nice too. Because I have like the electric crew I work with, like Will, Sam, Hannah, Bobby. They're an amazing team to work with. I learned a lot from Will, and like just working with those other amazing people. It's always helped me. Like, it helped me stay grounded. It helped me like keep focusing on the next step when it comes to like the process for designing. And it was just like fun to work with them, because like a lot of times too, they give out like ideas, like a lot of times like their ideas really help me move forward and like help me think in a certain way.
The team is huge.
Yep.
Being able to, especially like for this, I'm bringing in people and I'm just talking with them, talking about life, seeing like what's going on with you. And like, really, this is one of the first times I've done it, but it feels so natural, and it's exciting to like learn from other people that I might not have necessarily sat down and had like an hour conversation with. And here soon I'm gonna have one of my roommate's dad, who is like, if I understand correctly, he basically is a lead person in like a scientific group for like Corteva Agriscience. If I'm correct, I mean, I'm gonna sit down with him and really talk about like the process of how we got there. But that's a whole different walk of life. So being able to talk with you and being able to talk with him, and then looking forward to talking with other people, it's pretty exciting to be like, oh, dude, this is fun. I enjoy it. And I hope you, my beloved, beautiful, sexy audience, are also appreciating this, because if you don't, I'm vibing.
We vibe.
Don't hate me, bro. Anyway, fuck it, we ball. I've said that like 3 or 4 times now, but it's just in my head right now.
Yeah, it's definitely at this point in life too. You're like, I'm just going with it. This is happening to me right now. Let's go with it.
All right, it's just like, all right, might as well. Like, what else are you gonna do? Cool. Well, I guess. I mean, we're getting closer to the time of us needing to retire the episode, but I guess, is there like any other closing topics you want to bring up, or anything on your mind that you wish to tell the audience, and just like really just pour your fucking soul out, really give it to them, raw dog it.
All right, look at the camera right now here. Yeah, look at the camera. I see you, audience. I would say the closing statement for all of this too is that if you are inspiring to become an artist, the big things I want you to know is this: always trust yourself. If you have an idea, go with it. Don't like let someone else tell you that like, it may not work, and like find out yourself like if the idea will work or not, because that means that you did it. Like no one else told you otherwise. That was your choice to make. Trust your gut. Think grand. Like always think grand. Like don't ever like limit yourself by, oh, will this work? Will it not work? No. Think outside the box. Think far and beyond, because you can always go in, but you can never go out from small. That makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. Grab the rope and hold on tight.
Yes.
And basically, yeah. Well, okay, maybe not. That's more like life is controlling you, but in reality, bro, you're the one pulling the rope.
Yeah.
So
give the rope the strength it needs to pull.
Yeah. Does it make sense?
No.
Maybe not. But that's okay. Fuck it. We ball.
Fuck it,
all
we
right,
ball.
y'all. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it as always. Make sure to listen to the next one. I don't have time frame, but it might be out by the time this comes out, or it might not. It's spooky season for a reason.
Now it's November.
Bars.
So that means it's Christmas season.
Wait.
Yeah, today's the 1st.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Oh, I discovered that during
We haven't even had Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, people don't care about Thanksgiving. They're going straight to Christmas.
God damn it.
You at least need 1 week for Thanksgiving, then it can all be Christmas.
Okay, that's facts. All right, well, Jackson Newhouse, pleasure as always being on, my guy. Appreciate it.
Of course.
I hope you, my lovely, sexy, beautiful, courageous, proud listeners,
Look at all these adjectives he's
are,
telling you
I
about.
know, beautiful. Wink, wink. I hope you guys enjoy it and really just do what you feel like you need to do to be successful and happy in life. That's so broad and I love it. I sound so philosophical right now. Yes. Anyway, but yeah. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.